Hello, so it says I'm live, so hopefully I am. Looks like all the stuff's popped up now. Now the video, although I've set it to ultra low latency, seems to be quite far behind, so I'm going to actually just pause the thing. So yeah, hello to everybody. So what I'm actually going to do is just keep the video paused, the live playback, just because it's annoying me how far behind it seems from what I'm actually saying at the moment. So it says we've got 18 people currently watching, 22 people currently watching, 2 likes, so make sure you click like, because it does seem to help the video get shared. Alright, I'll call you Naz then, because that's certainly better than saying what your actual name is. I've had an attempt before at doing a DIY gas mask, didn't turn out very well. I've not got the materials to make one. Why can't you watch it? Alright, Steve. Right, I've got the old Geiger counter out today. I've also got some other stuff on here. One of the things I'll do a video on at some point this week, I might do a video on this tomorrow actually, one of the filters Hype suggested. The safe to use Polish EO14 filters. The one that's the industrial style one, so I've got one of those. Annoyingly the bottom was sealed, the top actually wasn't sealed properly, so it's already technically been opened, so I won't use this as like a prepping kind of filter. But will be safe to use at least for videos if I want to attach it to one of those sort of things. So yeah, that's cool. Also filmed a video with a Bokken today, so that's laying here. Managed to cut Bart's hand open when we were filming that video, which was quite funny. And I've also got this old Geiger counter back out because I'm going to see if I can get this working properly again, because we had a lot of messing about with this today. And it did seem to eventually start working. So if I pop the Geiger counter on the desk somewhere, I've taken it out of its housing because, well, it's still in housing, but you know what I mean, like out of the carry case. Because with this Geiger counter, when you have it out of the carry case, it's nowhere near as bulky. So I'm going to just rearrange my desk a bit, and I'll see if I can actually get all this on the desk that way. There we go. I can actually, hopefully, use this a bit better in the video. I just need to untangle the audio line from it, so I can get that completely untangled. There we go. That's the wand. Let's pop this back on. Then we'll see if we can make it tick a bit into the microphone. Let's turn the Geiger on. There you go, it's testing alright there. Set it to 0.5 microwatts per hour. Put the microphone next to the microphone, like the speaker next to the microphone, so hopefully you'll be able to hear it ticking on the thing. Just trying to see if I can get that set up so it's gonna. There we go. That's as close as I'm gonna be able to get it to the microphone, but it should pick that up when I start doing it. Right, I'll check the comments in a minute, because obviously where I'm setting up the Geiger counter, I can't really keep track of the comments. Oh, I need to move my water bottle actually, because where I've popped that now, I can't see the chat. So. Notice that it says no political stuff in there. We're going to try and avoid talking about political stuff, so I'm not going to answer if you've done a political question, you've been warned. So let's get the Fiesta ware out. I've actually taken some of the Fiesta ware out of its little bag it was in, just so I can use it a bit more accurately for these videos. Right, so hold that up there. Is the Geiger going to get a reading, or is it going to fail me? Great, it's not going again. Even I had it working perfectly earlier. Great, it was working fine earlier, and now it's not. No, it's still not working. Brilliant. Oh, that's irritating. No, it's 27 degrees in my room, so I'm not going to put a gas mask on for this stream. because it's getting to the stage now where the temperature is getting really hot in here, and I can't run the aircon while I'm streaming because it'll be too loud. £7, and it was £7 postage. As I said, I've not tested it yet, but unfortunately it's quite an old one. But I'm just going to try and get this Geiger counter set up because it's annoying me. It was running fine earlier. Let me do it on circuit test for a while, because it might be it's one of those things where you have to leave it on the circuit test for a bit. I'm not sure. So let's leave it on the circuit test mode for a while and see if we get any results on there. Yeah, if you have a question about the Draeger M65, then ask it. You don't need to say I have a question about the Draeger M65. Humidity is 50+% at the moment, so not great, not terrible. But yeah, the thing is with sort of the temperatures, if you're acclimatized to it, it's fine. If you have a day that's suddenly a lot hotter than the other days, it's not fine. Yeah, lots of the Call of Duty games and things get things wrong about gas masks and things like that. Yeah, right, one of the things turned up mic today, that Polish filter. Now, annoyingly, it's not in pristine condition, so the top thing was broken on it, and it's from 97. Oh, this paper's coming off. We'll just pull this off as it's coming off. So I don't think I can use this as a practical filter, but I can still use this filter as a actual one for, like, if ever I want to do a mask with an EO14 style filter, I can at least do one that's completely safe to use now, so that's good, even if it doesn't work. The bottom seal's still on it, just the top one was ripped off. Gas masks can protect you from things like Agent Orange, but you'd also need a full NBC suit on as well, because I think Agent Orange can damage you through the skin, can't it, as well as inhalation. Yeah, these are on eBay. When you say M70, what M70 do you mean? Do you mean a particular mask or what? Because I'm pretty sure there's more than one mask called an M70. Let me just search M70 gas mask just to see if that's what you're on about. There's like an industrial one coming up, and there's also a Hungarian copy of the PMG. So you had snow in the summer in Holland, that's strange. I don't think we've ever had snow in the summer here. Yeah, well, it's basically a PMG. I've got one, actually, the Hungarian PMG copy, but, you know, other than the voice diaphragm cover looking different, it's a PMG. You know, not really any improvements or anything worse. Whoever was going to ask the question about the M65, can you ask it? Because you said, can I ask a question? No, you've not asked it. Yeah, remember to like the stream, guys. Thank you. That does seem to help them get shared. Right, I've done it. I've left it on circuit test for a while now, so let's see if I can get a reading up. So get the Fiesta wire back out. There we go. Now, hopefully you can hear that. Is that audible? Now it stopped suddenly getting a reading again, which is weird because the Fiesta hasn't moved. Very strange. I'm assuming there's something that's not quite right with this Geiger counter, but it is an old, you know, like Soviet com block one, so that's probably why. But right, let's put on circuit test again for a bit. That's cool, Mike. How's the weather at your end? Because I wouldn't want to be on an exercise bike today. Doubts from Brazil. What do you mean? Some are fire resistant, some aren't. Some of the old rubber suits, you get ones that are actually specified as being fire retardant while others aren't, so I think it would really depend on the particular suit. Oh, that's good. But yeah, good if you're near the cellar, I guess, not good otherwise. When you say the GP6, do you mean the GP5M, like the one in the background? Because there isn't technically a GP6, but yeah, there's that one came in both grey and black. Ah, that's good, yeah. Glad you like it, Alex. Yeah, the Teespring stuff seems to be quite good. When Bart gets his next design up, and he said he's hopefully going to do that this week, he's going to do like the parody sort of shirt of, you know, perfectly safe asbestos filter or whatever it's going to be. With the skeleton sort of smiling and holding an asbestos filter. I can't remember what design he said he's actually going to do. That I'll definitely get a hoodie or a shirt with that on, so I can wear it in videos. But with the mugs, yeah, my mug that I've had, you know, and I use every time I do a stream when I'm actually going to be drinking something warm like coffee or whatever. It's not really stained yet, and the colours are still good on it, so, you know, that's all good. Licorice. Depends on the kind of licorice, I think. Some licorice I do like, some I don't, because the strawberry licorice I like. No, never try to legally or illegally acquire a firearm, because I can't be asked to go through all the effort to get one legally, as I've said before quite a few times. I prefer apples to oranges, really. I think I prefer lemon to apples, so there you go. Yeah, I suppose he could do that at some point, but we did have a chat on the stream before about merchandise. That was what it was specifically with, and most of the things people wanted, like a skeleton with a surplus cellophane. Oh, some very weird comments right there. There you go, you've got your timeout. As I said, I'm trying not to block people too much now, but if you carry on being weird when the timeout expires, there you go. Well, don't know, Alex. Don't really ask them. It's none of their business, you know. As I said, I'm fairly libertarian, so I don't cause them any trouble, and they hopefully don't cause me any trouble, but you know what I mean. I can at some point, Riley. I have to see when Mike's free to do one with me, because those joint streams are quite fun, but we both have to be, you know, around at the same time to be able to do them. There we go. Assuming you can hear that fine. No, all the guns in the background are real but deactivated. And yet again, it's just stopped ticking all of a sudden. I really don't know why this Geiger counter keeps doing that, but it's getting quite irritating. I don't know, is it a loose cable or something? I don't think it's a loose cable. Anyway, I'll stop playing around with this Geiger counter now, because I've got the SOX one if we want to use a Geiger counter. As I've said to people before, these retro ones are cool, but they are kind of useless in a way. You know, the modern small Geiger counters seem to be a lot more reliable at you just, you know, turning them on and working, and, you know, they're a lot lighter and everything as well. I mean, compare the size of this thing to, you know, this thing. You know, the wand itself is bigger than the, with the modern Geigers, you know. pop that on here, out the way. Just turn this one on. Yeah, I'll move this filter out the way now because that's taking up a load of room on my desk. Yeah, I'm a lot better today actually because the reason, like I said, I was in a bit of a bad mood yesterday. It was just one of those days where I had so much to do on my day off that it annoys me, you know. But it depends what you mean by repaired more easily. It's made out of Bakelite, and it uses lots of stuff that's not around anymore because it's a big old obsolete design. So not really. I kind of get what you mean, as in it's bigger so you can get at components easier, but it's completely obsolete, you know, in that sense. But anyway, let's, there we go. We have the Territorial Army, but they're massively cut compared to what they used to be, and they still sometimes get called up for wars, so they're basically not really a proper Territorial Army anymore. But it's like not like a proper National Guard kind of thing anymore, no. They used to have like a civil defence thing as well, and that's completely gone, destroyed now. As I've said before, I might occasionally do videos like that, but only when I can think of something that will actually amuse people. Because a lot of videos like that annoy some of the people, to be honest, so, you know. The DP66, when I bought it, was like £60. They're about 150 quid, because Bart looked at them today, because he was kind of wanted to get one as well, and then he was like, no, I'm not paying 150 quid for one. These things, I think, are about £100, but I got sent this one for free, so, you know. What, the PDF or the VistaVision? Both of those have hoses on. Yeah, we're getting quite a high reading off this, aren't we? Dangerously here. Don't know why I always like doing that with this one, but yeah, we'll stop that now. Stop it. And I'll put the Fiesta wear back in here. There we go. Well, as I've said before, Oscar, in several things, when I volunteer, I often use a mask. I can use a dust mask and everything, because gas masks give you better protection. It stops me from getting, you know, an asthma attack and my hay fever playing up. So, you know, there's that. So, yeah, I use them quite a lot. Sometimes if I'm working with chemicals around the house, you know, I'll use a gas mask. Just simply because, you know, that way there's no risk of me getting anything in my eyes, giving me, you know, permanent eye damage or inhaling anything. Yeah, PDFD, Soviet mask, children's mask. So yeah, it's been a better day for me today, as I was saying, just because Bart came round and we were messing about doing stuff and managed to cut his hand open. Not a really bad cut, but you know, as I've said to a couple of people, doing a bit of practice with a bokken to see how good a bokken is at disarming people if they're holding a knife. He was using the Fairbairn Sykes, so he had this knife, and I was knocking it out of his hand a couple of times. One of the times I knocked it out of his hand, it basically kind of went like woof, and then cut into his hand like that. So, yeah. For the people saying these reproduction Fairbairn Sykes knives are crap and can't cut anything, it definitely cut his hand open. I was wondering if I should or shouldn't show the wound he had on his hand in the video, but I did. Because it's not like really gory or anything, although we did have to wash it under the tap and put a few plasters over it. Right, cheers Michael. Avon CT12 is my favourite forest. But yeah, it's just like saying, the thing that annoyed me yesterday, if I sounded in a bit of a mood when I did the stream yesterday, was just as I said, because it was one of those days where I had a lot of things on my day off. That always annoys me. You know, working at the weekend, then if you have to get up early on your day off to do something, then, you know, every few hours you have to go out and do something. There's two there. There's a German M65 and there's a Chinese Type 64 Model A, I think it is, if I remember right. But yeah, so yeah, people want to chat about stuff, please go ahead and chat about stuff, you know. Is slow mode on? Because I'll take slow mode off if it's still on, but I'm trying to remember how I change that. Can I change that on the new interface? I don't know. Is it on the gear up there? Let's have a look. Live chat. No, slow mode's not on, so it's not like people can't post. Okay. What's the latency on? Because I wanted latency. It's on ultra low, but it's still quite far behind what I'm actually doing on my webcam today, which is annoying. It depends with a cut. I think it depends where you get the cut, because some cuts sting more than others depending on where you've been cut. Probably depends on how deep it was, you know, how clean a cut it was. There's lots of factors with a cut that can affect if it really hurts or not. That's the Sabre up there. I've not got the original Finish M71, but I've got a weird kind of variant of it, like an earlier version. I've done a video on that. It's weird. It came in a British gas mask satchel bag for the light anti-gas respirator, and it has like a British World War II civil defence filter attached to the mask, but it's actually a Finish M71 style mask. So it's very strange, but it's quite interesting. What do you mean, kind of confused of the laws in the UK? People are allowed to sell antique masks, that's not a problem. The government at one point made a bit of a stink saying people shouldn't be allowed to sell old masks if they have asbestos in the filter, but I don't think that went anywhere. Because, like, technically you can't because there's asbestos in it, but I think antiques are kind of not covered by that at the same time. It's quite confusing. Yeah, I've not seen them yet. I need to watch those Laser Point production. I should get time to watch those tomorrow, because tomorrow I've not got a lot on. So yeah, I'm going to try and go back up in the chat and watch those tomorrow. Because yeah, yesterday I was really busy all day, so didn't get a chance, and today I've been hanging out with Bart for a lot of the day. You know, so obviously getting videos filmed then and stuff like that. So yeah, I should get time tomorrow. I bought the M50 on eBay when some turned up for about £50, but a lot of the time they're well over 100 and quite hard to get, and I wouldn't pay that for one. But yeah, when I got my M50 it was £50, so, you know, that's a good price for it. I pay that for it. That's the thing I think I've said to a lot of people about with gas masks, is that quite often I'll just sit around until some turn up at a good price. Like, there's a lot of masks I'd get if I saw them at a good price. At the moment, though, because I've still got a few gas masks on order, I'm not going to be buying any more for a while unless I see something that, you know, really tempts me price-wise, because I need to, you know, throw out some junk and clear up some space so I can store some more masks properly. I might have to try and clear some of the books off of that bookshelf there. Yeah, that would be ideal. If I can clear some of the books off that bookshelf there, it means I could have a second row of satchels there. That's what I reckon I'll do. Yeah, I reckon I will do that then. Might try and do that tomorrow when I've got some spare time. Clear some of the books off that bookshelf there, put some in the attic or some elsewhere. Yeah, then I can have some more satchels there, and they're in my room and easy to get at for on streams if people ask to see a certain mask on the stream. What country are you in, Ragan Hilda? Because I keep posting some on these streams for UK buyers, which are like £30 odd. That's cool, Maxi Boy. Doesn't bother me if people are in or not in the streams. Because, you know, that gives me a chance to chat with other people. Not saying that to be nasty to some people, but you know what I mean. If you get some other people on than the usual people, it gives you different chats sometimes. My favourite game ever is Oddworld's Abe's Exodus, which is PS1 game from and PC from like 97 or something like that. See you then, Alex. I don't collect full military uniforms, but I have lots of camo stuff, so I have, like, you know, matching trousers and shirts and all that, but I don't have dress uniforms, and I wouldn't collect them. Actually, technically I do have a full East German uniform, but that's because I dress up on a mannequin. My favourite helmet, out the old steel helmets, the East German M56 helmet. Modern helmets, probably like Pascut style helmets. I just started collecting them because they're cool and interesting, Marco. If you're not into them, then don't collect them, you know what I mean? Yeah, old bayonets are legal in the UK. There's no laws against bayonets here. As long as you know you don't carry them in public or threaten people with them or stab them with them or stuff like that, you know. Owning a bayonet is no different than owning any other kind of knife. Now let me just turn my microphone because it wasn't. That's annoying. The microphone cable's got caught on something. Hang on. That's better. The microphone's actually pointing at my face now. What, you mean the gas mask? Was the elephant a name of one of those masks? That's typical. I've started streaming. I'm only like 27 minutes into the stream and I feel really hungry now, and I didn't feel hungry at all before I started streaming. That's annoying. When you say the 1A4, do you mean the 4A1? But yeah, that's a good beginner's mask because they're often not too expensive and they're actually, you know, a mask that would protect you. So did everybody watch the episode of Chernobyl from today? Or yesterday, whenever it went up? There was a guy wearing a GP5 filter in it, though, I saw. So, you know, that's not good for the actor, I guess. And that's technically a mistake, because he shouldn't have a GP5 filter on his mask. Let me see if I can get the screenshot up for you. There you go. There's a guy in a helicopter with a dosimeter. Or Geiger counter. See that? RN5 on the filter. So although he's got the PMG2 sort of GP5M, he shouldn't have that filter on it, because as you can see, RN5 GP5 filter. So it does say 75 or 76 on it though, so it's not a post 1986 filter, which would be a problem in the show if that was the case. But yeah, actor wearing a GP5 filter, there you go. Probably Soviet SS Leto or Flektarn are my favourite camos. I've done videos on that. Is your name Gregors? Sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation of that. But I've done videos, but it's going to depend a lot on what country you're in. That's why I can't really just say this mask. Because in lots of different countries, the price of surplus masks varies and what you can get varies. So, you know, I can't really just rattle off the masks that are currently decent priced in the UK, because that might not be the same for lots of other people. The scariest mask I own, I think the SHMS or Shums, but some people would think other things. Yep, £20 for an AK bayonet's not a bad price. I've got an AK bayonet, they're quite nice knives. They've got a wire cutter on and stuff like that. They're obviously like cheap mass-produced bayonets, but, you know, it's still, for £20 I wouldn't turn down any bayonet. I think I'd buy any for £20. When my chair creaks, it sounds a bit like that Geiger counter. Yeah, I don't think in Chernobyl, though, there's many people actually speaking with the full masks on, so I don't think that's a problem. Let me Google it, because with lots of camos I forget which ones they are until I Google it. That looks pretty cool, so it's like an autumny sort of colour. Yeah, I like that, actually, that looks cool. So it's sort of a woodland pattern, is it? But it's, sort of, you know, like a brown sort of autumn thing. Ah, yes, some of the ones, it depends how faded it looks, I guess, because some of them, the colours look quite different on them. But yeah, I like the look of that. I think somebody mentioned that on another stream and I looked it up. But yeah, I do like the look of that one. Yeah, it depends. If you're in the UK, you wouldn't see it on HBO anyway. You see it on Sky. But yeah, depends. There's lots of places to watch it. If you're in America, HBO. In the UK, Sky. There might be some streaming services that offer it. No, you'd have to order something that has UK deactivation specifications. I really don't know, but I would not try and import something like that. You'd have to buy it from a UK site, I imagine. But as I don't know much about the laws on that, I'm not going to try and advise you at all. I'd say inquire with the police or something, maybe, if you want to know more. But in general, they're pretty strict on that sort of thing. Are you thinking about Jigsaw? I've got Jigsaw, but it's quite faded on some shorts. But yeah, I like Jigsaw. It's got a sticker right there. It's probably just one it's picked up where I've laid it down somewhere with a sticker on. But yeah, Belgian Jigsaw I like. But yeah, I said before to somebody that the Russian camo looked quite similar to that in some ways. I don't know, I don't have Netflix. All of a sudden, silence again. So anybody doing anything interesting today or tomorrow? What was good is actually when I did that Teespring video on Sunday, although I filmed it well in advance, that got some more sales, so that was good, because obviously helps the channel out if people buy the merch, so that was quite good, because I think there's a lot of people that probably don't watch the live stream, so they don't see me drinking out of my Mark 5 mug or whatever. Right, is it on live chat or top chat? It is on live chat. Strange. It says there's like nearly 30 people currently watching, but I'm not getting any new comments come in. If you're responding to a certain person, do the @ symbol and their username, that way they know who's being responded to. Because if you just say yes and no in the chat, I have no idea if you're talking to me or something else. I like multicam and like MTP style camos, but it's personal preference. It depends where it's being used. The whole idea of MTP kind of camos or multicams is that you can use them in lots of different areas without all the logistics prices of, you know, getting the right camo to the troops in the right areas and you know, printing multiple camo patterns in whatever sizes, where if you have just a multicam, you can probably use it in most places to decent effectiveness. Oh, I'll definitely have to watch that, Mike. I've not watched your film club one yet for today, so I'll get around to watching that, I think, when the stream ends. I didn't actually get around to watching the bottom movie, though, but I've seen Hotel, whatever it's called, Paradisimo, whatever it is, and I've seen all the bottom TV episodes. I can see if Bart can draw me dual-wielding an M1 carbine and SLR or something like that, but yeah, at some point he said he is going to get round to drawing like NBC gear with like the correct rifles and all the equipment with it. But again, the problem is because I, you know, rely on somebody to draw my stuff for me, it's whenever he's got time to do it. So he said hopefully this week he's going to get another design out, but you know, because there's lots of different people saying they want lots of different things, it's just going to get made when it gets made, really. What, the ones with the gas masks? Yeah, they're my favourite outfit in New Vegas. Depends. I mean, what, like a stab-proof panel Pro Force or a bulletproof one or whatever? Because as we've said before, and like Weapon Collector's shown in some of his videos, carrying like a stab panel in a backpack is quite a good idea. Because obviously you can't really be knifed in the back if that's on there. And then if somebody pulled out a knife, you know, like in your public place, you could probably pull your backpack off and then use it as a shield if you had to. Yeah, I might at some point, Mike. It's just with a lot of the time, it's just getting time to watch it. Because the problem is with a lot of the film club ones, because you do those on Sunday, obviously I work at the weekend, so I'd obviously be late commenting on the film club ones, but I'll try and do that, because I watch quite a lot of films during the week. So yeah, I think a lot of the time it's because I don't check the film club videos long enough in advance to know what the film is, but so I'm always behind on them. But yeah, Jeremiah Johnson was good when I watched that. Oh, short shorts look cool. I think in the end, though, the soldiers were told to wear the longer trousers, weren't they? Just so their legs were more disguised, but yeah, Rhodesian short shorts are cool. Wouldn't that be quite heavy, though, having an AR-500 steel plate? Like I say, the one I like is that modern SOX one, because, like I say, in the old Soviet block ones, as cool as they are quite heavy, need big D batteries, and you know, aren't that reliable compared to modern ones where these are like small and just work and you can recharge them via USB and everything. Yeah, like what Mike said, Proforce, it really depends on the kind of bullet and stab proof. Like the police one I've got there, ignore the right armour sleeves on it. That is a combined stab and bullet resistant vest. I don't think that one's got spike protection, but it has got, you know, basic stab protection. It's level 2 Kevlar, so it would protect you from handgun rounds and somebody just trying to get through it with a knife. In terms of, but yeah, not all stab proof vests are bulletproof, and not all bulletproof vests are stab proof. It depends on what kind they are. Like modern UK police ones and things like that tend to be combined, because, you know, the threat that they might either be stabbed or shot is a lot higher than specialising in just one area. As I already said this stream, MX Master, the Avon CT12. I suppose if you licked it or ate it, Gregors, but it's not dangerous to be around. Now, if I show you the uranium glass I've got, the Geiger counter. Alright, so just let the Geiger counter roll up again. So, there we go. So that's the uranium glass in its cover. Now, if I put the Geiger counter against it while it's in its plastic cover, I don't think the reading's any higher than normal. If I take it out of the cover and put the Geiger counter exactly on it, it's a bit higher than background, but it's not exactly a high click rate, so as long as you weren't licking it and like trying to eat it, I don't think it's going to be a problem. So you don't sleep with it under your pillow, but with most of these things, you know, the distance on them is so short that you have to have, you know, it's only emitting radiation to like that distance, so with radiation it's always dose, like distance and time exposed, basically, that are the danger factors. So the higher the dose is, that's bad. You know, the further away you are from it, that's good. And you know, like the time exposed, the lower the better. So with stuff, if it's a very low radiation dose and it's got no range on it, it's really not a risk. Even if it's level 3 Kevlar, if it's not got any stab protection added to it, things like a Fairbairn Sykes knife would go right through it. Because Kevlar is not designed to be stab proof. They have to put like extra stab proof layers in. Yeah, well, you've answered your own question, haven't you there? Deactivated guns as deactivated foul there, there's deactivated Lee Enfield there. Well, most places actually Riley say respirator, technically, to be correct, but yeah, America for some reason uses the term protective mask. What always annoys me though is when somebody comes on a YouTube video and like, You're wrong to call it a respirator or a gas mask. The term is protective mask. Everybody knows that. It's like, yeah, it's technically correct to call it a protective mask, but it's also correct to call it a respirator, and it's still technically correct to call it a gas mask or anti-gas mask. Bad, obviously, Harry, because all it's doing is demonising collectors. I could agree with some of the stuff about acid on there, but really, like I've said before, I think, you know, you shouldn't have many restrictions on many items. And then, you know, you should legally throw the book at people who do bad things with the items, not punish everybody because they've had crime incidents and they don't want to have enough police, really. What do you mean, what was the radioactive thing that was setting the DP66 off? It was the Fiestaware, which I already showed in this video. Sister, Fiestaware. From what I've seen, Major, and I've been told, is that the 67's the military one, the 76 is the civilian one. Because there's lots of photos you can find of old Hungarian civil defence bunkers where they have the actual 76 in, but I'm not going to get into an argument with that. You can think what you like. You know, like I said, I'm not informed enough to really argue it, but I've seen enough evidence from places that that seems to be the case. But if you want to argue it with the people, you know, that are putting up on, like, the wikis and everything for it, that it's a civil defence mask. I've seen a few of them, yeah, Proforce. I don't actively go out and look for them, though. I've seen some that are actually funny and some I just don't get, so, I've got some East German webbing and it's a bit crap, so I can't tell you, you know, I don't know what generation of webbing that is, but that stuff I've got is crap. The buckle on it is awful. It keeps, like, coming out because the, you know, like, the buckle hook thing isn't really big enough to go through the bit it's designed to go on. So I can't tell you, as I just said, because I don't know which is better, because I don't know which is which. But not the one I've got is probably the answer. As I said, I find them interesting, Pizza Party. So, you know, I wouldn't collect stuff I didn't find interesting. If you don't find them interesting, then you're welcome not to collect them, aren't you? Wonder what I have for dinner. Alright, cool. Did that all go alright? Did you all get it all off Sir Roofington? Ah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that they didn't fit the bolts, but I suppose as long as you can fit them onto something, Mike, that's good. Alright, Fico? What do you mean? There's not any World War II relics around here, if that's what you mean. I've got some in my collection. Or, well, I mean, depends what you determine as relics, doesn't it? But I haven't been out with a metal detector on battlefields, if that's what you mean. I think it is a bit disrespectful, though, to people that dig up, like, bodies and take all the helmets and medals off of them. Like, I think that's like a pretty bad move, you know, let the dead rest in peace. But if you're just looking for, like, cartridges on the battlefield or something, I don't see the problem with that. Really depends. As I've already said, I've done videos on that sort of stuff, Fico, so watch those videos. But I'd have to know which country the person's in and then know what's currently cheap on the surplus market at the time, you know, and I don't really want to keep having to do that every time I get asked a question. Yeah, in the UK, broadheads are legal as long as you don't hunt with them, but bow hunting is banned anyway, so it doesn't make a difference, you know. For target practice, you can use them. They're not as good as field tips for target practice, because they tend to destroy the targets faster. But you're perfectly allowed to own them and target shoot with them. Yeah, I've been to Germany, I've been to Bavaria. I've been to Austria as well, I've been to quite a lot of places in Europe. I haven't ever been to Berlin or anything. Most NBC suits would, yeah, because the Scott M98 is just like a standard mask, so I don't see why stuff would get in the way of it. But yeah, any of the NBC suits with elasticated hood should fit it, no problem. No, never been to New Zealand? Or do you mean the Netherlands? Yeah, it would be NZ, wouldn't it? New Zealand. NL would be Netherlands. I don't think I actually have. I'm trying to think now. Because it could have been one of those places I've been in for like a day where, you know, you sometimes go across a border somewhere from one place to another. I've been to France. I think I've been to Belgium very briefly. Been to Germany and Austria. Been to Spain, Portugal. But no, I don't know if I've actually been to the Netherlands. But probably not, maybe. No, perfectly legal in the UK. Otherwise I wouldn't have them, would I? I've already said you can't crossbow hunt in the UK. I just said that like a minute ago. I've heard some versions have different straps though, miss, because the ones on mine are fine. They're just rubber adjustable straps. I've heard some people say there are some models of fabric straps they don't like, so it might depend on what year or factory made the mask. I don't know. I think you can bow fish, but I'm not sure on that, and I've never done it. But, yeah, you'd have to look up the laws. As I said, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna try and advise people on laws I don't know about, because that's never a good thing. I've been streaming 45 minutes. I'll stream for at least another 15 minutes, but I'm not going to go massively over an hour on this stream, because there's only 19 people currently viewing, and I'm getting quite hungry now. No, you don't need a license to have a crossbow. You just don't do anything stupid with it. That's the law, you know. Yeah, well, it's better. It'd be better than our current laws. The problem is in the UK, I think it's more just lack of police. That, you know, I mean, there's lots of reasons we have a lot of knife crime and all that. Like I said, I think a lot of the problem is lack of police enforcement rather than actual the laws. Because you could make a law that says nobody could ever carry a knife, and it's not going to stop people who are intent to go out on stabbing people from carrying a knife. Yeah, you can find videos where some of them fail, Penguin. But that's the reason for like the actual masks I ever use for stuff. I only use like my best mask for that. But you know, if you buy like that GP7 there doesn't work properly. Are you on Twitch tonight, Mike? I think you said you probably are, but I'll definitely be watching Twitch if you're on, and I'll be able to comment and everything because I'll just probably be playing Fallout Shelter while you're doing it, so I can keep alt-tabbing out of that. That's the thing with casual games. I'm getting back into casual games a bit more because it means I can listen to them. Well, I can play them, you know, play them while watching documentaries and stuff like that. Well, exactly. They don't use pocket knives for crimes, but the point is that doesn't stop government legislation targeting pocket knives, does it? Well, my favourite FICO is the FM12 or CT12. Well, technically the CT12 is my favourite, but FM12 is the mask more people know. But again, that's my favourite. Would it be my best mask? I don't really know, but it's my favourite, so... well, I can't get new straps for it because the mask's ripped. It's not the straps that's broken, it's the mask. But, and I'm in the UK, so it's hard to get spares and repairs on US masks. But I've not tried repairing it, and I've not done anything with it since, you know. Yeah, I'll definitely watch that then, Mike. As I've already answered this stream, Oddworld's Abe's Exodus. If you mean modern games, I'm enjoying a lot of Mordhau. Played some of that today. Yeah, exactly. You could just make crime illegal, couldn't you? Oh wait, that doesn't work exactly, Riley. So that's the problem. That's not too bad, is it, Rich? Yeah, I've got Rising Storm and Rising Storm 2 and Red Orchestra 2 and the original Red Orchestra Off Front 44, whatever it's called. Yeah, I've played all the Red Orchestra games. No, I think somebody asked me about that before and I said I'm not going, so the answer's not changed since last time. I don't even know much about it. Yeah. But, you know, like I said, is it illegal to buy then in the Netherlands? But, yeah, like I said before, it's if you're a criminal and want to get something, you're probably going to get it anyway, and you're not going to care too much about the laws, because if you're intent to go out, you know, murdering or attacking people or robbing people, you're probably not going to care if the law says you can or can't carry something. I've never seen any sites selling gas mask parts. Now and again, spares and repair kits go on eBay, but they're quite few and far between. Might do one this week. It depends how well people stick to topic, because the only problem doing the spooky streams is a lot of the time people don't stick to topic, and I'm not very good at enforcing people to stay on topic. So, you know, if everybody keeps going off topic, then I'll start chatting about off topic things, and it's not really a spooky stream anymore, is it? That's the only problem. Yep, I think my disclaimer is totally necessary, considering people have often tried to say that I'm gonna encourage violence on here or whatever. So yeah, it's totally necessary, and it's staying up on every time I do one of these webcam streams. But yeah, I might do a theme stream this week. Could do it tomorrow or Thursday. But I might not do a spooky stream as the next theme stream. I might try and find one where everybody will keep talking about a certain subject. I wouldn't mind actually doing a political stream. Because that way, if people want to chat about political stuff, it's not, you know, too annoying. Because if it's a stream where you specifically say you're going to talk about politics, and I don't mind people arguing about politics too much, it's just I don't like politics on a normal stream, where people can be getting on fine and somebody wants to keep arguing about, like, a political party, or they keep want to, like, with the religious thing, they keep saying, are you this religion, why are you not that religion, you know. Let me convert you to Jesus or something else, you know, it's just annoying, to be honest. Ah, it's very good, Rich. Alright, what thing in history is it, Michael? Yeah, I'd have to say respect other people's opinions, otherwise you can get a timeout or a ban. Because the thing is, you can be civil even if you don't agree with people. Like, I voted out of the EU, I've had friends that voted in, and we can still get on fine. Because we don't go, oh, you're a stupid person for doing that. It's like, why did you vote for it? You know, what were your reasons? These were my reasons, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I can see your point, you know, fine. But some people, it's like, oh no, you're an idiot if you voted for this political party or hold those opinions. Yeah, I might have to get a fake background up for that one, Mike. I might have to green screen myself. Or, you know, take the webcam, point it in a different direction. I said, I don't mind if people can vote either way. I don't hate people for voting a certain way or anything like that. It's just more the people who want to always start arguments and division over it. You know, with pretty much every, like, referendum or political election, you know, you need to respect the choice that people made when they vote for it. You can't then say, oh, what did they really mean when they voted for this thing? An FM12 if they're similar prices, because the FM12 is the successor to the S10 and it's better than the S10. It's got stronger lenses, it's a bit lighter, you know. Which comment are you laughing at, Weapon Collector? Yeah, that'd be funny, wouldn't it, doing a stream where I don't have to talk about gas masks and things for the entire stream. That would be interesting. Oh, comments have gone quiet again. I'm gonna have some water because I'm getting quite thirsty. Yeah, the problem is, though, I sometimes have problems with UK customs. So when I order stuff within the EU, it's never really a problem. But when I sometimes order stuff from China, it gets held by customs for ages, and I don't want to spend a load of money on a mask and then get it held, you know, by customs. I might do at some point. But, you know, I'll get them when they're a bit cheaper and when I've got the space for some more masks. Is the rainbow behind you real? Yeah, I should have a green screen where I'm totally obviously not here. It should be a green screen of being, you know, saying about chroma key. That's an interesting idea. Can I chroma key my curtains, and then I could have the chair facing there. I could put the webcam there somewhere, because this webcam can be mounted on a tripod, and then I could have a green screen by using the curtains as a green screen. Let's have a look. I think there is a way of doing it on this. Yeah, not too sure. I think there's a way of doing it, but... the BEM 4GP is a much better mask than the GP6. But obviously it depends how much cheaper it is. If you can get a GP5M or whatever when you say GP6, you mean a GP5M, don't you? If you can get a GP5M for like £5 or a BEM 4GP for 30, I'd personally probably go for the GP5M, but you know, if it's 20 something pounds or whatever for that one, and the BEM 4GP is like £30, I'd go for the BEM 4GP. Yeah, I'm alright. Person with a gnome child as their picture. Yep, the PPSH and the RPK are down there. It depends if it's a day when I've got a pocket knife on me or not. If it's a day when I've not got a pocket knife on me, I say no, search me, look, there's no knife. If it's a day where I've got my pocket knife on it, I say yes, it's in this pocket, and I've always got a good reason for a knife. But sometimes they're legal EDC ones, sometimes they're ones that are reasonable to carry with an excuse. But I never just randomly walk around with a knife on me for no reason. I don't think you could laser point, but it depends if the stuff's settled on the ground or if it's still in the air. Well, never pay €50 for a GP5M, that's a complete rip-off. 66, like nearly €67 is excessive for a BEM 4GP. But €50 for a GP5 mask, do not pay that. It's worth €20 at most, probably like €15. I've already done that. Ghost. I've already done that. There's a video. It sort of worked. I might try that again at some point and make a slightly higher quality one. But yeah, I've tested one and it worked. It wasn't very good, but it did work. It was like it was a plastic bag where I cut the eyepieces out, put some tape over it, so it still had an airtight seal on the eyepieces, and then I did like a filter hose attached to it. Even if it had postage on it, that's still an awful price. You should be able to get one of those for €20 max with all the kit and postage included. I like dogs. Penguin. Yeah, GP5 is like completely worthless in terms of like money for actually how much they cost. Now, if somebody had some really rare GP5s, and by that I mean like post-Soviet production GP5s, maybe I'd pay a bit more for that. But yeah, somebody saying, wow, a GP5, €50 for a GP5, no thanks. Now, all the guns I own are deactivated or replicas, whatever, or comply with UK law. No, I don't. It depends what you mean by tactical gloves, but I don't really think so, because I've sometimes worn my police riot gloves in really cold weather because they do keep your hands warm. If you're with your name, Gregors, I'm not sure if you're like Polish or from somewhere in like Central Eastern Europe, but if you're around there, I'm sure you could get the Polish MUA, which is like a GP5M, or a GP5M domestically for probably like 5 zloty, 10 zloty, something like that. Yeah, I think as long as you're wearing like something that's not an illegal type of glove, wearing it in the winter's fine because you've got a reason for wearing it. Yeah, if you're Polish, mate, you should be able to get the search Polish MUA mask into Google. That's very similar to the GP5M in a way. It's like a Shum 41 style mask with a voice diaphragm on. You should be able to get that in Poland, probably like 20 zloty max, I'd imagine. You know, for like the equivalent of like €4 or €5 or something. Yeah, exactly. That's a much rarer mask, so yeah, paying €20 for that is a good price. I've got a Belgian L702, but what did I pay for it? Probably like 20 to 30 quid, I think. Oxford sort of area. Yeah, no problem, but yeah, don't get ripped off and pay like €50 for a GP5M. There's quite a lot of domestic Polish masks which are pretty cool if you're new to collecting gas masks, and some of those, yeah, you can get for like, I think in Poland people are telling me, you know, like 15, 20 zloty each. Yeah, that's a good one, Peach. Slot machines. I don't know, Gaming Legend. It depends what you posted. No, I don't want to make the disclaimer so big it blots out the entire screen. I don't mind telling people that they're deactivated. The problem is a lot of the time if I put things in those disclaimers, people on purposely bring them up, so I don't want to make them really big, because before I used to have an FAQ. So yeah, Bartos, if I'm pronouncing his name right, he can tell you, Gregors, if I'm pronouncing your name right as well. He seems to know his Polish prices, so yeah, I'd listen to him, because he'll stop you getting ripped off by the sound of it. Yeah, thanks, don't forget to like the stream, everybody. I'll go off fairly soon, because I'm getting really hungry now. And I want to get some food before Weapon Collector starts his stream, even if I have to cook something. Sports, I'll sometimes watch the football if it's England on, and I've got nothing better to do. I'll listen to football quite happily when I'm at work, if we've got the radio on, just because it's something to be doing while I'm working. In terms of sports, I'm more likely to watch rugby than football, but then I'm still not very motivated to actually watch it. Battle of Nations and some of those like HEMA kind of sports, I'll actually go out my way a bit to watch those, but, you know, still not really go out my way. As in, they've ground the firing pin down Ghost, they've welded the barrel, you know, there's parts missing from them. Basically, to get them to fire again, you'd have to go to more effort than just illegally buying a gun. All sorts, Fico, I've gone over this quite a few times in streams, so I'm not going to go all of it now. I like pretty much any genre of music as long as it sounds good to me. So that might sound like a cop-out answer, but that's basically completely true for me. No, I've not heard of that company. At some point I will do that, but what I'll do is, because I've got a bit of the riot shield that broke off when we did the riot shield test recently, I'll use that bit as my testing bit for like ballistic tests. Because I don't want to put a hole through my, you know, intact piece of riot shield. Anyway, yeah, I'll finish the stream off now. Depends what you look for. That French riot gear was like £20 or something. My riot shield was like £40 with a bit of postage. Riot helmets are often like £20 to £30. As long as you shop around enough and wait long enough, you can get them for good prices. Salted cobalt bombs, probably. And, you know, properly mutually assured destruction with nuclear bombs, yeah. Yeah, Martini Henry's illegal. They're classed as antique firearms now. So there's still laws attached to antique firearms, but not like full-on firearms laws, so you'd have to read up on them. But yeah, you can get Martini Henrys. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Yes, you can. Somebody post a name. I've got one on order. Search Y2K respirator into eBay. Hang on, I might be able to even get you a link up. Here we go, from the Russian Federation. You bought this item. Here you go. Right, cool, yeah, I'll watch that. But there you go, Gregors. There's your link. Click on that. There you go. Link should work. There's 2 available, apparently. $5 and $8 postage. So it was $13 in total. But yeah, you can get Y2K respirators. Alright, see ya. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a good stream, but I'm hungry now.